Hey everyone, it's Friday, and it's not, and this is
It doesn't seem to be poison or magic. Is this the reason Balsef's soldiers were after you? For the last several days, Balsef's forces have been getting pretty restless. When we looked into it deeper, the word Thorns came up over and over again. And now, we come across Miss Prickly herself.
Drop the attitude. Did you really think we wouldn't find out anything about you? Miss Shion Imaris?
That's her name? You mean she's...
What? You didn't figure it out already? Yeah, that's right. This lady's got herself a surname, which means one thing. She's a Renin, our enemy.
Yeah, but she was being chased by Renin soldiers. So then, why?
That's exactly what we're trying to figure out. After all, aside from the clothes they wear, there's only one way to tell a Danon from a Renin, and that's whether their eyes light up or not. Ain't that right, Bright Eyes?
Big talk for someone who can't even use astral arts. Embedded.
Don't you call us embedded! Look, you see the stoner people embedded in me? There isn't one. Because we gouged them out the day we swore to rise up against your kind. This scar's a reminder not to rest until every last one of you is...
We Danons may not be capable of using astral arts, but it looks like those thorns of yours won't do you much good in escaping here either.
Still, inflicting pain on anyone who comes near you, that's one hell of an ability.
You're wrong. You think this curse is some kind of great ability?
No, she's mad.
Curse.
Fair enough. All I know is Balsef must have his eye on you for a damn good reason. And until we find out why...
An ambush!
They must have tracked us down. Evacuate us.
Are we gonna start fighting now?
Bring the girl. If she gives you any trouble, wave a spear in her face.
Got it.
Hey, Iron Mask. Sorry, but right now it's everyone for themselves.
What about you?
I'm going to welcome our guests. Don't go dying on me.
Come on, move.
And don't try anything funny.
They expect me to fight with that rusty sword? Dull sword, more like crappy sword.
Enemy attack!
An ambush? Renins are here? I have to find an exit and get the hell out of here.
Game's a little loud, but if the volume is too loud, just let me know and I'll lower it. But that explains why they call them Bright Eyes, because I was wondering why they were calling them Bright Eyes, but now it makes sense because you can tell the difference because their eyes will light up, which I'm not seeing yet. So that explains why they're referring to them as Bright Eyes. Seemingly impressive. You can save and load. Okay, so now I'm able to do that. Okay. And I got no accessories at the moment. Oh, Baki. Oh, we all recognize that. That's from Scarlet Nexus. Nice. I can switch to a better sword. I would have to agree with you on that, Rand. The dull sword did look like it would snap in two on the first swing, which is why I'm switching to which I'm glad the DLC, there was some unclaimed DLC stuff. And let's see. Wait, I can't add the Baki accessory. Well, that sucks. I'd be putting that accessory on if it looked good on the character because it's from Scarlet Nexus. Okay, so this is outfits. You can change the character's costume, hair, and accessories regarding their equipment, armor, skins. Okay, maybe this is where I can do Baki. Yeah, probably not gonna have the Baki on because it does not look good. Because I don't want that playing with that on my head the whole time. Though I might put the hair clip on female characters because I can tell that that's for them. But I'm not gonna have it on this one because it does not look good. Oh, weapon skin. Oh, that is nice. I can have the appearance of the sword if I want throughout the whole game. But I'm not doing dull sword because, I mean, look at this thing. No, thank you.
Anyone who can fight, grab a weapon! Damn! How'd they find out about this place?
Have these kinds of battles been going on this entire time? I just didn't know.
Oh, our first opponent.
Stop right there! Oh, it's just a den. You there! Where's the Renin girl who was here?
Well,
Spit it out! I want an answer, insurgent!
how's this for an answer? Go to hell!
You dare address a Renin armored soldier that way? I'll show you embedded!
Yes, now we can fight. Thank you. Yep, fire! Press R1 to perform a normal attack. You can swing up to 3 normal attacks together by learning certain skills. This limit can be increased. Characters can attack in mid-air after jumping. Arts are special actions performed by spending part of your AG or arts gauge. Press turn square and X to use the art assigned. Currently restore automatically when attacking. Push L and press to evade enemy attack. If you time it well, an enemy attack is approaching, you will perform a perfect evasion. Not your fingers, Ren. Okay, I think I got it.
Fuck or die!
So much for playing nice. Alright, we're up! Die!
Okay, so I can only do that since I don't have any arts.
I won't go quietly.
I won. I actually beat one of those Renin soldiers. I've got to keep going. I have to survive this no matter what.
Okay, just a dead soldier. But I think I see something over here. Oh, apple gel. Nice.
What's this thing?
No choice. Now you'll learn. It's over. Swallow blade. Slash. Try harder. Swallow blade. Slash. Damn it, Maiden. Slash. You're mine. You're finished. Here I come. You're finished. Slash.
We won.
Xian V. Mayor Imaris Daymore. I hereby detain you in the name of His Excellency Lord Bolsef.
Damn
Throw
it!
down
I
your
was so
weapon.
close. What the? You've got some kind of death wish? Those are armored soldiers you're...
Shut up and get out of here while you still can!
Step aside, slave. These are Renan affairs you're meddling in.
Hey!
We've got a better chance working together. Besides, I don't much feel like being indebted to a Danon.
Fine, suit yourself.
Combos are actions strung together with no gap. Normal attacks have a set limit, while arts can continue until the AG runs out. Normal attacks continue separately on the ground and in the air, using an art combo to go between them, thus extend the combo. During combos, if St. Marty used multiple times, then 4 actions, its decrease. This will also raise these penalties, making the arts half as effective on their harshest.
Word to the wise, I call my own shot. Just stay out of my way and we'll get along quite well.
It's kind of new for me, if you hadn't noticed. Don't expect any...
That was quick.
Why did you help me? What could a Danon like you possibly gain from helping a Renan like me?
Trust me, I've no great love for Renans. I guess I'm just not as consumed with hatred as some...
What?
Have we met somewhere before?
Me? Friends with a Danon? Can't say I've had the pleasure.
Well, when you put it like that, yeah, silly question. I don't remember anything about my past. Don't have any clues to go on either. Not even my own face.
Let me get this straight. You don't know what you look like, but you thought I might somehow recognize you?
Something like that. Guess my helping you back there wasn't as self-sacrificing as I made it out to be. Besides, I can't feel pain anyway, so it's not like...
Wait, you really can't feel pain?
Yeah. It's just another thing I don't have. No pain, no face, no memories. I only know one thing about myself, and that's that I'm a slave.
What about your name? You must have one, right?
Iron Mask. Got the name from the person who found me. Said that this way I wouldn't forget I had a real name out there somewhere.
I see.
So where to next?
Outside, silly. What do you think we fought all this way for? Stay sharp. We're going in.
Okay, time to escape the mine. Okay, so yeah, the skits. I remember that from the previous Tales games I played, like Tales of Systeria and Berseria. They had it where they would do skits, and they're pretty good.
Glad to see you made it. I heard you managed to escape, but I didn't expect to see old Iron Mask with you. In any case, we're all wanted by the Renans. It'll be easier for everyone if you both just come with me.
Where are the others?
They're waiting for us up ahead. Come on.
Oh crap.
Stay where you are, dissidents.
Just look at all these soldiers. How badly did they want to destroy this hideout?
Apprehend the traitor! Slaughter the rest!
Look out! Xian!
the Master Core. He was embedded within her all along. No matter. Kill her if you have to. Just retrieve the core. Attack!
Yes, burn! No, Rin, not the tentacles.
You okay?
Your arms!
Oh, yeah. How about that? Guess it's just as well I can't feel it, huh?
You're not in agony? Wait, are you serious?
Hold still.
Huh?
It's one of my healing arts.
A sword that sears the hand of he who wields it, and a healing art to mend. A man numb to pain, and a woman whose very touch deals nothing but.
Thank you.
All right, let's rout the bastards and finish them off before the surviving stragglers have a chance to regroup. Iron Mask, you coming?
Definitely. I'm not about to go back all that way alone.
So I guess you're not planning on releasing me, huh?
Sorry, you're coming with us.
In that case, there's one thing you should know. No one uses that flaming sword without my say-so.
You needn't worry on that score. I doubt many of us could get close to it in the first place, or would want to.
The blazing sword. It just might be strong enough to match the power of a lord. No, maybe even to surpass it.
Are you sure you're okay?
What do you mean?
Your wound. That soldier nailed you pretty good. Not to mention those flames bursting from you.
They only hit my master core, so I'll be fine. And the flames weren't even hot. It's probably because they're just a manifestation of the astral energy. Honestly, I'm more surprised that you really are incapable of feeling pain.
Did you think I was faking?
No, I believed you. I guess seeing you stay calm while bearing those burns to your hands just really made it hit home for me. It's ironic. I have no problem hurting anyone who touches me. But as soon as I try to wield that sword, it's me who gets hurt.
Do you wish you were impervious to pain too? You realize you could burn your fingers off without even noticing, right?
So what? All I need right now is power. And up until now, I haven't come across anything stronger than that blazing sword the whole time I've been doing this.
You really don't care what happens to you as long as you get what you're after, do you?
Don't talk like you know me.
You... You're right. I don't get you. I don't get why you're so quick to throw it all away. Not when us slaves have never had a choice in whether we lived or died.
Party member info, you befriended Shion, okay? Sephiroth has teamed up with your party. Sniffa. Shion's specialties is gun-based long-range strikes and astral arts. Use her to hit enemies from a safe distance and to use her healing arts on allies with low HP. Healing arts cost CP to use, so mind your CP total. When auto mode is enabled, Shion will primarily target flying and astral art wielding enemies as well as foes with lower HP during combat. Okay, with healing and support effects, consume CP points in addition to AG. The CP is shared across the party and can be restored with items or by staying at an end or campground. It can be raised by leveling up or finding specific items. Okay. And I will be right back. I need to go let my dogs in. Okay, I'm back. Let me catch up on chat. Yeah, not being able to feel pain is good and bad at the same time. Yeah, I can't agree with on that. With feeling some pain is good, like you don't feel, but at the same time it's also bad because you don't know there's something seriously wrong. When there's something seriously wrong, you don't know it because you don't feel it, which is also bad.
Can you even see out of that thing? Like, at all?
Of course I can. How else do you think I managed to avoid tripping everywhere I go?
What is that thing anyway? It doesn't look like anything Dan and I've ever seen.
Beats me. I don't remember anything about my past. When I came to, I was already wearing it. If I could get it off, I would. Damn thing makes it hard to eat. And I can't scratch my face when it itches. It's the worst.
Honestly, I'm just impressed you've managed to survive this long looking like that. I'm sure you attract attention wherever you go.
Most of the other Danans don't pay it any mind. It's in everyone's best interest to just keep their heads down, focus on their work, and pretend they don't notice.
What about the Renan soldiers? Didn't they notice?
The guards? They're more the kill first, ask questions later type. Be in the wrong place or step out of line and you're dead. Mask or no mask. That said, as long as you keep your head down and don't cause trouble, they mostly ignore you. Honestly, sometimes they don't look all that keen to stir up trouble themselves. A friend of mine said it's because if they kill us without a good reason, it could delay the work and put them behind schedule. At that point, it'd be their necks on the line. You should know more about all that than me, though, right?
I don't serve any of the lords. But I see what you mean. After 3 centuries of Renan rule without much upheaval, it's possible the soldiers might be losing their edge. All this trouble we've caused might be the first excitement they've had in a while.
Well, I don't plan on getting killed for their amusement.
I would know on my real arm. I don't feel anything pain-wise. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, with something. With some things I don't feel a whole lot of pain, but then there are times when I do really feel it. Like for example, like last week I had something. I went to the dermatologist, had something cut out on my lip, and they put stitches in. I didn't feel anything until the medicine wore off, and it didn't hurt a whole lot, but I could just feel where the stitches were, and I can tell you right now, it was irritating, even with the type of thread they used. Land of Brimstone and Swirling Ash.
That's...
Glanamede Castle, stronghold of Lord Balsef, self-imposed ruler of all Calaglia.
I've never seen it from this close before.
That's it, all right. And next to it are the Gates of Fire. Take a good long look while you still can. That wall is what we've come to tear down. The only thing standing between us and freedom.
Freedom.
Let's go.
Okay, it's in our party, so let me see. Okay, time to change her weapon. Nice. Okay, let's see what arts I got. You can assign arts that you've learned each to each of the different buttons. You can set 3 arts to use while on the ground. Pulls an additional plus an additional 3 arts to use in the air for a total of 6 equipable arts. Press L2 and R2 to inspect arts you have available. Characters that are set to auto can use all of their arts, but you can press square to uncheck arts you wish for them to avoid. You also cast healing arts from the screen as well. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I only got 2 arts right now, so let's see which one do I... And I only got 1 aerial art for Iron Mask. For Shion, we got the arts as his First Aid, Magna Ray, and Resurrection. Okay, so I can't really do much there right now since I really don't have any more arts besides that. I mean, I don't feel pain at all on my arm except my fingers. Not that bad, cause yeah, I'm a bit tongue-tied, but you can't feel pain on your arm because I do. Once I do feel pain on my arm, I do feel it, but it's just not as bad. But when it's on the fingers, it hurt. That's where it's really bad. Ugh. SAO collaboration pack on sale now. Oh. I see, so they've added a SAO collaboration. Nice. I guess there's some I can't get to at the moment, but those are the costumes. But I'll be taking a look at that later.
Be careful. If you get close to a Zoogle, they'll attack.
During combat, press while menu to change your character. Character's control mode. Semi-auto moves, attack, strategy. Okay. Designed for players who only wish to cause and dabble in combat. Meanwhile, manual mode is for those seeking full control, while auto control lets the game take the reins.
Don't go charging off like that. This is it. Dig deep.
Easier said than done.
Talon, don't let them form a pack.
You're mine! Take this!
Everything's coming up, Zephyr. Don't fight any enemies you can otherwise avoid, all right?
Makes sense. If we try to take them all on, there'll be no end in sight.
You sure won't hear me complaining.
Ooh, a new one.
Take you all on.
Mega Ray!
Slot! Swallow blade! Move escape! Swallow blade!
Turn like that circle and bring them down.
Over?
Fall back.
What?
I'll bring you back from Death's Abyss.
I'll run you through. See ya. Talon door.
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
All right, leveled
Still
up.
striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
Wait, I think there's a ladder over here, so climb. With games like these, you always want to check every nook and cranny because you never know what you might find.
What a weird stone.
I sense a strange power from it. We should gather as many as we can find.
Oh boy, a chest. Let's see what we got. Ah, life bottle. These should come in handy.
Seems you found something good. Supplies like that are valuable. Never overlook them.
Got it. I'll remember that.
Let's stop a moment to catch our breath.
But I've barely worked up a sweat.
Speak for yourself. What do you want, a medal? Doesn't look like we're being followed. Fail to grab these rare moments of quiet when you can. You'll end up regretting it later.
You're the boss.
Resting at a campground will restore your party's HP and CP. While resting, you can watch skits and cutscenes that you've previously viewed. Ah, nice.
Normally, we should take turns standing guard. But this first time, I'll watch over things so you two can rest easy.
I've never just sat and watched a fire like this before. It's surprisingly soothing.
Well, aren't you getting comfortable? You realize there are still Zoogles prowling around out here, right?
Ah, don't be a spoil sport. It's important to let your mind and spirit relax. Does you a lot more good than you might think.
Zephyr, why aren't you concerned about who I am?
You feeling left out, son?
No, it's not that. But
You said you wanted to fight so that you can live a free man. At this point, that's all that matters. Even if it somehow turned out you were a Renin, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
a Renin?
Until we know who you are, we can't rule anything out. Besides, we've already got Shion with us. At this point, what's one more Renin as long as they're on our side?
So you don't see every Renin as an enemy?
Our goal isn't to hunt down and kill all Renins. We only arm ourselves as much as we need to set ourselves free. If you can believe it, not every Danon agrees with what we're doing either.
Are you saying we have enemies among the Danans?
Not quite. They're just not up for rebelling, per se. The thing you have to remember is that everyone has their own path to walk.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's okay. Just focus on what we have to do right now. However, the time will come when you'll need to decide what to do for yourself.
How come you don't have a scar on your hand?
A scar? What do you mean?
The Crimson Crows all tore off their own spirit cores, right? But your hand doesn't show any signs of ever having a core like theirs. Why not?
I don't know. I don't remember anything about myself from before Doc found me.
Seriously? You have that mask, you don't feel any pain, and you just happen to know how to fight with a sword? No way. You must remember something.
I'm not lying if that's what you think. Believe me, I wish I knew who the hell I am. But I don't. It's funny how I didn't have any time for soul searching while digging up rocks in a mine.
Still.
Are you saying you've told us everything about yourself?
Zephyr.
It's bad manners to pry when you've got plenty to hide yourself.
He's got a good point.
You're not gonna ask me about my past too?
Only when I think it's necessary. You're a real man of mystery, I'll admit. That said, I'm not one to dig around in someone's business just out of curiosity. If you remember something and feel like sharing, you're free to do so. For now, I think that's good enough.
Right. Thank you.
But I'm pretty sure he's not. I'm pretty sure Iron Mask, he's not a Denon, because if you notice that during the cutscene we saw a light underneath the mask, which means something must have happened and he fought maybe one of the lords and they did something to him to cause him to lose his memory. But as for his fighting skills, the reason I think he still remember wielding the sword even though he lost most of his memory is more like a subconscious kind of thing, where some skills you remember you don't lose even when you lose most of your memory.
So this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just, you know, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but that doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere.
Okay, I'm back. I had to check, go and check on something real quick. Guess my dogs were barking. But let me see. I know what happened, but I won't say anything. Yeah, I don't know, Ren, because when it comes to spoilers, unless it's for something like for combat-wise, for like something that can help me with beating a boss, I don't mind knowing, because it allows me to make a strategy up. But when it comes to story-wise, in the past, I like finding out on my own. Okay, so I don't think there are any more skits to look at, because so we're gonna rest.
A Master Core, huh? Now I see. So that's why Balsef's cronies were so desperate to catch her.
Is that what it's called? The jewel in her chest?
Oh, right. You don't remember a damn thing, do you? Fair enough. Guess it's time to fill you back in.
Story time.
Tell me, You ever wonder why we Danans are made to work ourselves to the bone, day in, day out?
Well, when you put it like that, I always just assumed we were mining resources for them.
And don't you think it'd be quicker if they used all that high-powered tech they have? Why go to all the trouble of relying on weak human labor?
Just to make him suffer?
Listen, what the Renans are really after isn't resources or minerals. It's astral energy. They're harvesting the astral energy that sleeps inside all matter in life forms. And they're doing it the same way they have for the past 300 years, using us Danans as mere siphons.
Right. They have machines for minerals, but extracting from Danans requires spirit cores. Any astral energy collected passes through a spirit vessel on its way to being stored in a master core.
Okay, so that's why they have the stones in their hands.
But why go to the trouble of collecting all this energy in the first place? Do they really need all that juice just to use astral arts?
It determines the Sovereign.
Sovereign? Is that the Renan ruler?
Exactly. 5 lords, each doing whatever it takes to gather as much astral energy as they can and store it in their master cores. Whichever of them manages to accumulate the most power at the end of their contest is crowned the ruler of the Renan motherland. A new crown contest, as they call it, is held every decade or so.
So you see, the Master Cores are the receptacles in which the Lords store their power. And we Danans are sacrificed, so the Renans can choose their new ruler.
That's insane! You're telling me that's what our people have been dying for this whole time?
Relax, hero. You're not the only one who's bent out of shape about the whole thing. There are 2 things that I haven't been able to get my head around yet. What business would a Renan have stealing a Master Core? And what's the deal with that blazing sword?
I think the sword is a physical manifestation of the Master Core's astral energy. As for why it took the shape of a sword, well, I don't know any more than you do. Honest.
And that stuff about needing your permission to use it? What was that about?
I'm the only one of us who can control the Master Core to some extent. Without me to adjust the flow of astral energy, the sword can't take a physical form.
What do you want out of this? You may be one of them, but you don't strike me as the ruthless oppressor type.
I'm going to take down all of the lords.
Sounds like fun to me.
Never thought I'd say this, but I like the cut of your jib, Renan. Very well. As far as we're concerned, the struggle continues either way. And with that sword on our side, our chances of victory just increased. That is, of course, assuming we can count the 2 of you in.
I'm in. Let's take down some lords.
Fine by me. After all, it sounds like we're after the same thing anyway.
Honestly, I'm still a little confused by all this. But if it's a choice between this or going back to being a slave, then I choose to fight.
Then it's settled. Together we'll overthrow the Renan Lords. And first up on that chopping block is Balsef, the wild beast. Sound good?
I don't know what they were thinking when they made the name Balsef.
I've got to hurry.
Gotta go, taking down all 5 of the lords.
We have another secret hideout in Ulzebek, not far from here. We should be able to meet up with our comrades there.
cut it out. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's rude to stare?
I know I already asked you this, but are you sure we haven't met somewhere before?
What's so hard to understand? I'm Renan, you're Danon. There's no way. Besides, I'm from Lenegis. Trust me, wherever you were before you lost your memory, we've never crossed paths.
Lenegis? You mean the same Lenegis that's up in the sky? I've heard it called the Renan's Castle, but I never imagined people actually lived up there.
Well then, where did you think we all lived? Didn't you see the Renan Lords descend for the crown contest?
And how long ago was that?
Well, the current contest started 7 years ago, so...
Then I wouldn't remember.
Just how far back do you remember?
About a year, give or take. That's how long ago Doc found me.
1 year. Then no. I'm sorry, but there really is no way we could have met.
Guess not.
All right. Time to go after more monsters and head for the Lord. Ooh, shiny.
We should be able to eat this. Whenever you find some, make sure to grab it.
It's edible, huh? Good to know.
Definitely.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Harp. Gotta get that loot.
What's this thing?
I'm a bit of a loot goblin. Because when it comes to loot, I just gotta go for the loot. Oh, more apple gel.
That is one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
Yeah, from the way it looks, it might be best. Okay, giant zone of roam certain areas. Oh, it disappeared before I could finish. But yeah, that guy's a little bit too large. I don't want to fight him just yet.
We've almost made it to Ulzebek.
I am not smelly. I took a shower before stream.
I'll take you all off. Take this. Don't go charging off like that.
Swallow! Slash!
That's it.
I'm knocked out!
Guess we gotta roll with it.
Swallow blade!
I'll run you through.
Swallow blade!
Talon Storm. Pathetic.
What's this thing?
Whoop, wrong button.
Normally I don't pick on
You're
the
mine!
weak.
It's over!
It's over!
How's this? See ya.
Here's a healing arc!
Slash! Swallow blade!
Mine!
I'll run you
Here I
through.
come! It's over! Here I come!
I'm sure I can put this to use.
Oh, a little birdie. Yeah, a little owl.
Woohoo!
Dogtail. Alright. Alright, so you have to find these little owls.
It's an owl. They're often used as a symbol to represent ancient Dana.
They are so okay, so I need to find the owls to get new accessories and along with other things. My fiance made me say that. I see.
No choice. Swallow blade.
I'm only getting started.
You're mine. See ya. Slash. Swallow blade.
One more. Mega ray.
I'll run you through. You're mine. See ya. You're finished. Talon storm. Touch cannon. Strike. Together, that wasn't even a problem.
Got more crystals. Ulzebek.
Okay, people, this is it. Ulzebek.
No sign of any Renin guardsmen.
The Renins aren't as populous as the Danans. Probably figure stationing guards in a place like this would be a waste of precious manpower.
So this is where the next safe house is?
Yes. The last place they'd think to look for enemies is on their own doorstep.
That is, assuming anyone actually made it here before us.
Zephyr.
Looks like we needn't have worried. Come on.
Head to the Crimson Crow's hideout.
Zephyr, you made it! See? I told you there's no way Zephyr would have kicked the bucket.
Fine, you were right. So, what's the plan?
Well, we've got an ace up our sleeve and the enemy's in disarray. I say we strike while the iron's hot.
So we're finally going head-to-head with Balseph.
That's right. We can't afford to mess this up. It's now or never.
Then now it is! We've all been waiting for this day for far too long!
Leave the plan to me. In the meantime... Yeah, you two need to do something about your outfits.
You gotta have a point, because they're not exactly dressed for combat.
I have just the thing for your size. Stay right there, okay? Ta-da! I told you, it fits like a dream. I'm afraid we don't have any Renin clothing. I could find you some Danon outfits. But something tells me you'd rather pass.
Is this really that important?
In case you need reminding, I'm here because our interests overlapped. Nothing more. At no point did I say I've given up being a Renin. Now, let's play nice. How about you ask Nath and see what he says? He's our one-stop shop for info around here. With any luck, he might just know something.
Okay, let's see. Ocean Blue Battle Garb 1. Ocean blue clothing received from Tesla that was made by stitching together some pieces of cloth that the Crimson Crows collected. Ah, man, Zephyr left the party. Oh, well, yeah.
Try to be careful not to stand out too much. You're the only Renan around here, you know.
I know. I was just thinking about how communal it feels here, even though it's only supposed to be slave quarters.
Huh? Oh, yeah. When you put it like that, I guess it is different from heavily patrolled Mosgul. Were you expecting something more depressing?
It's likely a sign that Balsef doesn't think you guys can do anything to him.
What?
I mean, if Balsef thought the Crimson Crows actually posed a threat to him, you'd figure he'd be trying harder to suppress them.
You... No. You're probably right about that. All of the other Danans that aren't with the Crimson Crows accept the Renan's rule as simply a fact of life. From the day we're born, no, probably even before that, it's been drilled into us that the only purpose our lives have is to help select the next sovereign.
If they don't like the status quo, then they should fight it. Otherwise, they're endorsing it either way.
I see it differently, but that's just me. Speaking of Renans, do all of them think about things the way you do?
I won't deny that among my fellow Renans, power and status are everything. However, that isn't what this is about for me. I have
Hold on a
something I
sec.
need to do. And I'll do whatever it takes, and use whoever and whatever I need in order to get the job done. To hell with power.
Okay, sorry about that. Parents got back. Okay, how do I get... am I able to jump? Because I don't see a way to jump. But... the ramen emote. Thanks, Rin, because you know how much I love ramen.
Nath, we need your help.
Ah, damn. Never the manpower when you... Huh? Help, huh? What kind? Is it urgent?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, in that case, would you mind helping me out with something first? The work's really piled up around here.
What is it you'd like us to do?
Anything you can manage. No one cares about us slaves. That's why it's all the more important that we stick together and take care of each other. Check in with that guy over there for details on what needs doing. And thanks in advance.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
Maybe there's someone around here who needs our help.
I wouldn't say I'm more of a nerd. I'm a nerd when it comes to stuff, because I've always been a nerd because I'm a big, huge Star Wars fan. I read a lot on the lore and everything. And when it comes to anime, I really enjoy watching anime as well, and I'll read up on stuff on anime. Oh, we got... Is this a side quest?
Hey.
Okay, so this doesn't have any audio. Okay, so...
Yes!
I guess.
I'm not stinky. I took a like I said, I take a shower before every stream. To be fair, I take a shower every day.
Got it.
Okay, so I guess we're gathering supplies. Taking someone with a letter icon will start a subquest. Clearing the subquest will earn you rewards, and you can accept as many of them as you like. You can also check on their objectives from the activity records. Okay, nice. We got a side quest.
The Crimson Crows were so active.
You sound pretty thrilled by that.
Thrilled? Maybe. But I'll settle for hopeful. We know now that not everyone is rolling over for the Renans.
Okay. Okay, so I have to go out to help them. Oh, thank you for the posture check, Ren. I'll do that right now. Okay, so do I go out this door? Or do I go out the other door? The one we came through. Okay, this is where we have to go. I'm guessing everyone else is lurking. Yeah, we get most of the time people are lurking. Though I do have some that come in every now and then, but it's usually a chill place.
What? They're all dead? How did this happen?
Soldiers, that's how.
Are you Iron Mask?
Yeah, I am. Dairon sent me to help. Hang in there.
I'm so glad you made it. In the bushes over there. You'll...
Hang on. Xion, do something!
It's no use. He's already dead.
Damn.
Damn them! They've killed so many of us, and it's still not enough! They won't be satisfied until they've wiped us all out like pests!
He mentioned something about those bushes. We should check them.
Is this a cooking pot? But what is it doing here?
If I had to guess, He put it there to make sure a Renan wouldn't steal it.
So even though he knew he was dying, he chose to use the last of his strength to hide it, believing somebody would come for it. I guess you think it's stupid getting killed over a silly trinket, huh?
Yeah, I hate that they're
Clearly
all
he risked
dead.
his life for something he believed in. I would never mock someone for that. However, it will be up to us to figure out the purpose behind his dying act.
We will not let their sacrifice go in vain.
It wasn't in vain. If nothing else, this proves that the Renans can be outsmarted. We'll carry out your will and see it through to the end.
Then we better get going. We don't know when those soldiers might be back to make another sweep of the area.
So this is what it means to fight the Renans.
Sounds like you're kind of scared to me.
Of course I am. But if I'm gonna die one way or another, I'd rather go down fighting.
Okay, so let's rest for a second. But that is sad that all of those guys are dead.
Hurry up and go to sleep.
I can think for myself, you know.
Yeah, but the last thing I need is you dragging me down because you're too tired.
I'll keep that in mind.
I swear you can't walk 5 steps without tripping on a Zoogle. This is getting old.
Yeah? But wasn't it you Renans who brought the Zoogles here from Rena in the first place?
They're not just ordinary animals from Rena. Each of them has been modified to suit a particular purpose. In fact, some Zoogles were originally derived from the animals on Dana, or so I've heard.
What? You Renans couldn't stop at just the people of this planet? You had to screw with our nature too?
You can get angry all you want, but we have bigger fish to fry. So, are you going to work with me or not?
I will. It's in both of our own interests.
I think it's time we go to sleep.
We will not let their sacrifice go in vain. We will deliver the supplies.
Come on, guys. We've got lots to do.
Oh, need to collect those mushrooms. No stone over there, so we will head back to Uzbek. Can I now, like, get stuff from the water? I guess not. I don't know how I'm supposed to get from the water. I see it's shining, but I don't know how to get the resource. Nobody made. You're not trying to pelt me with eggs, are you? All right, quest complete. And we got gold. What's this? Ooh. After a perfect invade or perfect guard press, R1 to trigger immediate counter attack. Okay. You know, maybe. Okay, as you fulfill certain requirements for each of your characters, you'll earn titles for them, which unlocks new arts and skills. They can then learn making fights easier. You can view the title to unlock requirements from the skill panel. You can spend skill points to learn arts and skills from unlock titles, all of which grant powerful effects, making it worth your while to spend SP early and often. The skill panel can be accessed directly through pressing that. If there is any skill you want to learn but just don't have the SP yet, highlight it in the skill panel and press square. Doing so will turn on an alert that will notify you once you have enough SP to finally unlock it. Oh, that's nice. That sounds like that'll be pretty handy. Okay, so I can learn the skill, and I got around 250 too. Let's see. Okay, wind. Okay, so it's a lightning flash thrust followed by a sweep attack. Okay. Severing wind summons a vicious gale. It strikes enemies upwards. I think I'm gonna go with Stardust.
You see anybody around here who could use our help?
We can't chase after every little thing.
Yeah, but the side quest, it does make things easier. Even though they can, some of them can be a little tedious and simple, like repeating and everything. It does help out because more XP means higher levels, makes battles a lot easier, especially if you're fighting tough opponents. But it doesn't look, I don't see any new ones. So I guess that's the only one. Oh wait, there is
something happened.
One over here.
I'm skeptical.
Right.
What's with the gun, Ren, huh? Coming after me with the gun? With the gun? Hmm?
Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna at least accept it. That way I can least work on it once I'm a bit stronger.
All right. Got it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna work on. I'm definitely gonna take that Zulu down, but I don't think I'm ready to take it on just yet because I only got Iron Mask and Shi on right now. I think I'm gonna wait until when I have a bigger party to take on that Zulu, because I think if I have a bigger party, it will make a lot of things easier, because if I remember from the previous Tales games, those bosses are pretty tough to take down at the beginning of the game.
You're back, huh? Sounds like it was a real ordeal out there. Much as I hate to admit it, there aren't many of us who can take on those Renin armored soldiers.
All we can do is make sure we remember those who sacrificed their lives for the cause.
Yeah, they won't be forgotten.
Glad to hear it. Now, what was that favor you wanted to ask me?
Oh, right. Well, you see...
So then, you're wondering if I know of any places where you can find Renin equipment, huh?
Anywhere with those damn bright eyes is gonna have tight security, of course. You can't just go carelessly poking around. Unless... Across the wilderness outside Ulzebek, you'll find the Fagin ruins. There's some kind of old Renin castle out there.
What with it being impenetrable, I forgot.
But with a Renin tagging along, who knows? Maybe you can find some way in. You ask me, though, it's a lot of trouble for some Renin rags. If I were you, I'd get comfortable with Danon guards.
Definitely heading for the abandoned
Those look like the
castle.
ruins. Let's move.
Are we really going in there?
Yes. Now let's move.
Though it's too bad we couldn't like take the armor that the knights had on, because I think if we did, that armor would be very useful. Especially the helmets. I do like the design of the helmets.
Am I really doing this for some lousy clo- There's Sugals here too?
Hey!
Right.
Just a minute.
Okay, you can summon allies in combat to use their unique boost attacks. Once the boost gauge or BG is full, press the corresponding direction to execute. This move can be followed up with more attacks afterwards. Also restore the AG when used. Although the boost gauge builds up automatically over time, it can fill up faster by landing attacks and counter edges on enemies as well. Okay. My twin sister is here. My fiance are bullying me. Oh no! Not a double attack.
With that blade and your strength, the average Zoogle shouldn't be a problem, right?
I'll give it a shot. Eat dirt! blade! It's on! Eat dirt! Take this!
They've got me in their sights.
Fire numerous beams of light from the muzzle Shion's rifle effectively on aerial enemies, temporarily restricts their fight abilities and downs them.
Flyer!
This one is mine. I'll shoot them down.
Okay, that doesn't. Okay, that wasn't what I was trying to do.
It's in the sky, it's mine. I never miss.
I like her attack. That is a really nice attack. Boost attacks will any.
Primed and ready. One more. I'm only getting started. I never miss.
That gun of yours is real handy in a pinch.
It takes a true marksman to use.
Well, can't think of anyone better than you, Shion.
There. Help.
Here I come!
I'm ready.
And down they go.
Looks like it could be worth something. Ugh, you can hardly see anything from here.
Why don't we climb up higher and see if we can get a better view? What's this thing?
Potato. Ah, great. Now we can make mashed potatoes. Ooh, treasure chest. Ah, gold. That'll be useful, definitely. Not much here, so I'll just head back down.
No choice! Take this! It's over! Swallow blade!
Here I go.
Damn it! We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Stop.
Eat dirt!
I'm only getting started.
Swallow blade! Slash! We're in good form.
Right now I want now I want potato. When it comes to potatoes, I usually eat them when it's mashed potatoes.
Let's dispose of the trash.
I'll take you all off. Strike!
I'm only getting
Rising
started.
Wyvern! That frothing is driving me mad.
It's over.
Take this! We've got flyers.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours.
Excited.
Here I come.
Mega
You're
red.
finished.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
I don't know what use I'll have for him, but it's always best to collect items that you can use.
insects should stay on the ground.
Swallow blade!
Where are you going?
Slash!
Here I go. It's over.
Here I come! It's over! Slash! Swallow blade! Nicely done, Xion.
You're slacking. Step it up.
You got it.
I need to be stronger.
All right, level 7. And I see I see another of those blue crystals that we have to get, and that it said to collect more of. Oh, it's an antidote rock.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Here I come! It's over! Swallow blade!
Magna Ray!
It's time! You picked the wrong fight! I can feel my power growing!
Okay, I don't think we can go this way just yet.
Hey, Xion, where does your gun come from?
What do you mean, where does it come from?
When you're fighting, it looks like it just appears out of nowhere.
Oh, that's transferal technology. When I don't need my weapon, I submerge it in empty space. And when I do, I summon it. Make sense?
Not really, but it sounds pretty amazing.
Huh?
Well, that way you don't have to carry around any heavy weapons or worry about enemies trying to steal them, right? It's a pretty cool invention.
You realize you're praising the technology of your enemies, right?
So, technology is technology. It's not good or bad in and of itself.
I guess that's true.
He actually does make a point there when it comes to technology. Technology at its core is not good or evil. It just depends on who is using it, that it matters and defines whether it's good or bad. No, there is technology that is dangerous that should not be used. I eat potatoes, mashed bake, as fries, as a salad. Not nice. Another thing I do like French fries. French fries are good. Oh, we got a lot of enemies coming after us. Found another owl.
I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
I do love ramen. It is pretty good. Especially beef ramen. Oh, it's just one wolf.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You're mine!
Magna Ray!
Here I come! Slack!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Ew, meat. There's nothing wrong with meat. Means something that a lot of people eat. When Me, I'm an omnivore. I like vegetables and meat. Okay, skill panel. Let's see here. Oh, I see. So each character has their own skill points. Okay, so let's see. Unlock something for Shion. Let's see. Gemini Agua, Burning Strike. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that skill, and that's the only one you get for her right now.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Here I come! It's over!
By the
Swallow blade! Here I come! You'll come one, come aboard! I'm not done!
By the power of water!
It's over!
Here, let me help. First aid!
Okay, here I go! Swallow blade!
Gemini Ultra!
Take this!
Hey, got it!
It's over!
Magna Ray!
Flash! Swallow blade! Together, that wasn't even a problem.
The bee. Ah, campfire. Let's rest.
I wonder if those are the Fagin ruins below us. Shouldn't be too much farther now, if that's the...
I guess it's been a while since I had a bite to eat. Don't worry about me. I'm used to working while I'm hungry. It's no big deal.
It is a big deal. You should eat whenever you can. The last thing I need is you keeling over in the middle of a fight just because you didn't eat.
Never thought I'd get lectured on eating by a Renin, of all people.
Yeah, well, some of us Renins know what it's like to go without food, believe it or not.
What do you mean? I thought...
This isn't about me. Now, are you going to eat or not?
I would, if we had anything to eat, but we don't.
Actually, I have a little bit of food on me.
You've been carrying that stuff around this whole time? Not sure it's gonna be enough for the both of us, though.
That's why we're going to cook it instead.
Well, we are near a campfire.
I've never done anything like that before.
Me neither, to be honest. But we've got to make something out of all this, so might as well try.
What are you staring at me for?
Your clothes are all about function over form. You should think about sprucing them up a little.
Why? What purpose would it serve?
I guess you're right. I just think you'd look good with a little blue thrown in somewhere.
All right, I'll think
He
about
is
it.
wearing blue. Okay, cooking at camps and inns. You can cook meals, conferring temporary effects when eaten. New dishes can be made, finding recipes, while ingredients can be made by finding recipes, while ingredients can be found collecting points at general stores. Eating new meal overrides any previous effects. depending on who in the party cooks a meal, the extent of their effects, their duration will vary. As such, it's wise to rotate on who's cooking duty based on current goals and the party's overall status. Okay. So so in other words, I have to rotate on who cooks. I have to say that food did look pretty good. This for porridge, gentle dish made from simply boiling wheat in water through to keep it full. It's fun. There's actually a dish that as a southern thing is called grits, and it's basically corn, ground up corn. And what I do is I usually mix it with milk and then put some butter on it, and you're good to go. Oh boy, they never cooked before? Apparently so. Well, I guess Iron Man doesn't have much time to cook when he's in a blazing place full of heat and everything, and it's always working himself to the bone. And from what we can tell, she's mostly been captured a lot. So that's probably why. And I got plenty of wheat to make porridge.
This should definitely keep you guys full. You really do eat through that mask of yours, huh? I'm impressed you can manage so well.
Huh? Oh, it's nothing. You get used to it after a while. Still, I'm glad we decided to stop and fill our stomachs. I've got a newfound respect for cooking now. But I guess that's easy when you're used to eating everything raw. It would have been perfect if it had any flavor.
Sorry it didn't live up to your palate.
Oh, no, that wasn't a knock on you. I was just... Sorry. That's not how I should thank you for cooking for me.
You've got me curious now. Is it just pain you can't sense, or are your taste buds shot too?
Oh, sure, my taste buds work fine. Although, apparently what I like tends to be a little out there.
How so? What's so unusual about what you eat?
Well, one time I couldn't get enough of these things I picked off a plant, but everyone else said they were way too spicy. Doc thinks maybe I crave spicy food to compensate for the lack of pain I feel.
Maybe it's best I take charge of the cooking. You know, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, so he doesn't make everything so spicy.
It'll be to your taste, though.
I said I'm sorry. Look, I'll learn to tone down my tastes in the future, so let's just put that slip of the tongue behind us already.
Ooh, a new emblem. Speedy Chef. But I still have no points on her side to make anything, get anything new, and neither on Iron Mask either.
Well, off we go.
But something tells me he likes really spicy food. Kickstarter Kansas and the Nethers. No, not the Nethers. You don't do that. The Nethers are off limits.
This must be it. Looks pretty ancient, but I recognize Renan architecture when I see it.
It's seen some beatings. If it stayed sealed all this time, it's not because people left it alone.
It's not just their technology. The Renans build their structures out of special materials, too. Strong enough to withstand assaults from Danon tools and weaponry, anyway.
So how the hell are we...
Easy.
This is what I like about the game, is it combines two of my favorite genres, sci-fi and fantasy.
That I can see what's on the other side. I can't just walk in.
It's a defensive barrier. That's how it works. If we want to get through, we have to find the mechanism to lift it.
Okay, so where is the switch for the laser grid?
Phew. That may not have been a fancy feast we just had, but I don't remember the last time I felt this full.
Do the Renans often not give you all enough to eat?
It's never enough. The Renans decide exactly how much we'll have and when we'll have it, and that's that. We do our best to get around it. Everyone has to grow their own food and such behind the Renans' backs in order to get by. Thinking about it now, I wonder if they've always kept it meager so we would never have the energy to try to resist what they've done to us.
Yeah. An empty stomach takes its toll on the body and the spirit after a while.
How does a Renan like you know what it's like?
I may be Renan, but they don't like me either. I could be squeaky clean and they still wouldn't give me anything.
Did your stomach just...
I didn't hear anything.
But you just ate. How are you already...
I said I didn't hear anything.
I still have some I haven't eaten yet. Do you want it?
Sure.
It's always good to eat well, because one thing I learned from a movie Ratatouille is food is fuel. You definitely want to make sure to eat enough. That was easy.
Looks like this place used to be a supply base of some sort. It probably even dates back to the Great Conquest of 3 centuries ago.
For an abandoned place, sure is crawling with critters.
Well,
Kinda
that's
makes
just...
you wonder how they all got in.
Through cracks in the walls, I guess. Maybe it's a good environment for these species to propagate in. Best not to let your guard down either way.
That tends to happen with old buildings. It's usually when they're abandoned for a while, animals will come in and take over.
You're mine! It's over! Start up! We did it!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
We're in good form!
I think I heard some. There might be something up there. Oh, there's something over here. More mushrooms. Oh, I see a shiny stone.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Fire!
You're finished!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
What do we have here? Ah,
Is this a chest of some sort?
A Renan kind, yeah. We should definitely hold on to what's inside.
okay, so that's what the Renan chests look like. Clown. See what's in this room. Another chest. Oh, it was apple gel.
We've been walking around for a while now. Can we give up already?
What, you're tired?
Tired of something, all right.
I'm not giving up until we search every inch of this place.
She's really determined to find those clothes.
Out of our way!
Here I come! Swallow blade!
There!
Swallow blade! This one's all
This
mine!
one's mine! Here's a healing
Here
arc!
I come!
First
I
aid!
owe you one.
Ultra punk.
Keep our eyes on the prize.
What's this? Oh, it's an elevator. That's what it looks like to me, but first I need to check in here, and we got more. We got orange tail this time. Oh, there's a switch in here.
Get lost!
Swallow blade! I'm not done!
Magna ray!
Fly!
Seven on
I'll take you all on! Eat dirt! Swallow blade! Here I come!
Here's a healing arc! Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Swallow blade!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Okay, that opened something up. I don't know what yet. Maybe it has to do with where this leads. So I guess operate select residential quarter.
Is this Renin technology? I'm amazed you guys can pull something like this off.
For us, sites like this are completely normal.
This must be...
The former owner's old wardrobe, yeah.
I wonder how long they've hung here. They don't look like they've aged a day.
The designs are a little dated, but it'll have to do.
Most likely they've been preserved really well.
Listen, I get it. You care how you look. But we've got places to...
What is it?
No. Nothing. We've kept Zephyr and the others waiting long enough. We should head back.
Noble Rose, an old-fashioned rifle found in some Renin ruins. Belies rigid strength, allowing function even in harsh environments. Okay, new.
Okay, let's head back to Ulzebek.
You're in a good mood. Were you that happy to find a new outfit?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the same as ever.
You see what they didn't? There was like a Renin one for him here as well. That would have been nice if they had added that. Because they do a good job. They did a good job on the designs of the clothing in this game.
You said before that this probably used to be a supply depot, right? That Nave thought it was a Renin castle. I wonder what it actually is.
Who knows?
Could have been both.
Who knows?
What, can't I not know something? You didn't think I knew every last thing about my own kind, did you?
I didn't say that.
From what I've heard, a lot of the materials that were initially brought over from Rena 300 years ago were repurposed for other things over time. So it's entirely possible that this place used to be both a supply depot and a lord's castle at different points in time. They're not mutually exclusive. I couldn't tell you when the lord's castle moved to its current location, though. Well, satisfied?
Yeah. Thank you. You know, for telling me about all that.
It's not like I mentioned anything that useful. Come on, let's keep moving.
Okay, time to keep on moving. Time to head back to Zephyr. Too bad we can't explore the other storage blocks. Iron chunk. Iron chunk, okay.
There. Want to get back to Ulzebek?
Yeah, we better. We don't have time to waste.
Someone's in a hurry.
Right. All right, fast travel. As you pass through the campgrounds and other locations, you'll unlock fast travel points to return to them easily. Open the map from the area from map list from the area and pick up point. Note some areas may be inaccessible in certain times in the story. That makes sense for some places not being available. It could have something to do with story-wise, and that might be why it won't let you fast travel at certain points in a story.
We've reached our destination.
One thing I love about fast traveling, it saves us on time. Oh, a submission?
Yeah.
How's this?
Huh?
That was quick. It didn't take me long to do that quest. I had all the stuff I needed for the quest.
Okay.
Thanks. Sorry for the side trip.
We got to learn a new dish. I'll take what I can get, really. Let's cook it next time we make camp.
Is that why she went along with this?
Crap!
Balls this.
No way! Damn it!
All right, time to fight more soldiers.
Going?
You know where. Moscow.
What good is it going to do to...
I don't need your permission.
Time to do more fighting. Okay, I can't use the elevator.
Out of our way!
Here I come! You're finished!
Magna Ray!
Take this!
Gemini
It's
Onslaught!
over!
This is it!
Swallow blade!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Ooh, pepper. That's something that I'm gonna like using. Ah, I see a knight.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Take it! It's over!
Magna Ray! They really don't give up, do they?
Swallow blade!
First aid!
You're mine!
It's in the sky, it's mine. This is it!
Here I come! You're finished!
First aid!
Thanks! Here I come! We did it!
By the power of water!
Crap, didn't see that one coming.
There! End it! Magna Ray!
Eat dirt! Damn it!
Here, let me help. First aid!
I owe you one. Swallow blade!
There! Help it! Magna
What? I thought I took that guy out.
Water!
Swallow blade!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Hello, treasure chest.
What's this thing?
Scrap meat.
There are fewer soldiers stationed at the garrison than usual. They must have gotten deployed to Moscow.
Doc, cool. Everyone, please be safe.
Oof, butt slice. Wonder what this is.
Looks like this place opens out into the ocean.
The water's so much cleaner than what's on the surface. I even see fish swimming around.
Yeah, and boy, do they look delicious.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah, the fish do look delicious. And I can't jump into the water. What a shame. But I'll keep this area in mind. Let's look at the pepper while we're at it. One seafood I do miss eating is lobster, because oh yeah, Maine lobster is delicious.
Gotta break through! How about this? Swallow blade!
By the power of water!
Slash! Swallow blade! Here I come!
I'm only getting started.
You're mine!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Well, school.
Now you'll learn!
Mess with my friends, will you? You just crossed the wrong line!
Time to take these knights down a peg.
I never miss.
I won't show you any mercy!
You got spirit.
Finish! Slash! Take this! I'm not done! Hey, hang in there. Hey!
He's dead.
Damn it! Too late.
Stop. Please, don't hurt the children.
What's that? Damn it, I can't reach them in time!
Get back, Cole.
Doc! Cole! Stop! Not if I can help it! You're mine! Damn it, Maiden!
Use a healing art.
Slash! It's over!
Take it.
Swallow blade!
It's over.
Slash!
By the power of water.
Okay, so circle, that's how I jump.
Go.
Are you all right? What about the others? Are those bastards still here?
Iron Mask, take it easy. It's all right now. Most were able to escape, and we've survived. Honestly, we got off lucky. It's often worse when a resistance group pops up.
Lucky? You call people getting slaughtered like this lucky?
This is how things go when you're a Danon slave. You're dead if you stand up to them. Keep your head down and do as you're told. At least then you have a chance to survive. You only have one life. That's why...
I should wait for the right moment?
Yes.
So someone else dies instead while we live another day. Is that what you're saying, Doc? You're willing to risk everything on the chance that things will get better if we wait long enough. But what's the point of waiting if others have to die so that we can live?
What do you think happens when someone tries to resist? It'd be one thing if the rebel died, and that was that. But it never ends with only one death. You've seen it for yourself. Everyone suffers for it. Knowing that, are you really going to tell me our waiting has no meaning?
But that's... I understand not wanting to throw away the same lives we're trying to protect. That would be senseless. But if you wait too long, if you get too used to waiting, then eventually you lose the will to fight. I don't want that to happen to me. I've already met the Crimson Crows. People who risk their lives to fight the Renan's rule. People who know they might not live to see us win, but fight anyway to give those who come after a better chance.
It's always best to go down fighting.
If my life is at risk either way, then I'd rather spend it fighting.
So you've decided to take up the sword?
Yes, but not just any sword. It's a sword that only I can wield, but one that's also too powerful to use on my own. I doubt those who fought the Renans in the past ever had something like this on their side. That's why I'm willing to bet everything I have on this sword. I know it might mean more people end up in danger, but
Okay. If that's how you feel, then forget what I said. It's clear your time has come, Iron Mask. Currently, you and that sword are the only things capable of driving the Renans back. It's because of you that we're still alive right now. If there's a way through this for all of us, then I'll put my trust in you to find it.
Doc, thank you.
Now, remember what you said, and don't ever abandon that conviction of yours, all right?
Right. I won't.
You've grown so much since we first met, and you've met some good people, too. Maybe you have a chance after all.
Really? We're not gonna do more fighting on them? Ooh, I see an owl. Monocle. A monocle that makes the wearer look positively villainous. Few people know how to actually put it on correctly.
I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
Okay, I can't go this way anymore. This shows there's a ladder. Ah, there's a ladder. And there's nothing up here. So, I guess I'll just fast travel.
You're back. Hurry on in. We've been waiting for you.
You're not gonna ask what happened?
I can tell enough by the way you look right now.
I see. Zephyr, I need to ask you something. Would you have invited me to join you, even if I didn't have the blazing sword?
Of course.
Why, though?
There aren't many folks out there who are crazy enough to resist the Renans like we do. So when I find someone with the knack for it, I make sure to keep them close. Plus, you remind me of another guy we lost. Maybe deep down, I'm trying to help you as a way of making amends for what I couldn't do for him. But if you don't want this, just say the word.
I'm not going anywhere. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't even be here.
If you say so. All right, come on in.
Not the fingers.
Thanks.
Yes!
What's wrong?
Got it.
All right, we unlocked where we can go to the blacksmith.
We've reached our destination.
Assault with the blacksmith at the end. Okay, so we need to go into the inn and talk to the blacksmith near the inn. Okay, here's the inn. So where's the blacksmith? Okay, that's not the blacksmith. It's set at the inn, so maybe I have to go inside the inn. Ah, that must be a blacksmith. I have to go. Bye-bye, everyone. Okay, Rand, thank you for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it, and I hope the rest of your day goes well. Oh, this is the general store. Okay, that must be the inn. Ah, this must be the yep, this is the blacksmith.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, these will, but I think I probably need a craft one.
Hmm?
Thanks.
Good, good.
Is this something you're into?
Yeah. These ingenious structures and gadgets never cease to amaze me. Check out these handle grooves.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be seeing here.
Okay, the hunting rifle, that's a lot, it does a lot more. But I do like the way the noble rose looks, so okay. So I'm gonna put the noble rose skin on, since I like the way this one looks right now. Okay, this must be for NPC stuff, for automatic stuff. No. I like it that with the wait the huh? Did I just hear a who? Yep, I hear an owl. Where's the owl? Up there's the owl. I think. Because I hear the owl. Yeah, I think I have to go up here first. Go over here to get to the owl. I heard the owl around there, so why can't I see the? So why can't I get over there? Oh, there's a ladder. Yep, there's the owl. Rabbit ears.
I'm surprised there are owls here, too.
Yeah, there are more of them around than I thought.
All right, everyone. It's time. Remember, eyes on the prize. We're after Balsef, nothing else. Cut off the head, and the snake perishes. Hit them head on, however, and we won't make it through the castle gates, let alone reach Balsef himself. Luckily, we have an ace up our sleeve.
More like aces.
We need to do everything in our power to make sure that ace reaches Balsef's jugular. To that end, I'll be splitting us up into separate forces.
You just said all of us hitting them head on would be useless. Why would we divide ourselves up?
Because we're the decoys. We'll buy our ace in the hole the time they need to get in. We only need to cause enough of a ruckus around the castle to distract the enemy. That said, we need to look like the real deal, which is why I'll be tagging along too.
You too, Zephyr? So, who's going to take on Balsef?
The Iron Mask. I'm counting on you and Shion to make your way to wherever Balsef's hiding. Once there, you drive that flaming sword right through him.
You aren't seriously sending in just those two, are you? One of them's a Renin.
No one said the plan was perfect. By far, the biggest danger is the one you two will be facing. The fate of this quest rests entirely in your hands, which is why you get the final say. You want out, now's the time to say so.
And if we say no?
Then you say no. Just means we're back to square one, that's all.
And I go back to being a slave.
It's your life.
No, it isn't.
Ball's in your court, soldier. What do you say?
I want to fight.
But for what? What are you fighting for?
To free the Danans from the yoke of their abusive oppressors. To no longer die at the whim of another.
To break the shackles of our enslavers. To live and taste freedom!
Now you're talking. I believe we have our ace in the hole, people. Hold on to that belief, and we just might break through that wall yet. And what about you?
I was born ready. Now can we get this show on the road?
There's a gate on your right once you leave here. Go through it and ride the elevator you'll find. I'll send ahead a few friendly faces to keep watch on your way. If you get into any trouble, look to them for support. We all clear? Good. May this battle herald the end of the Renan's bloody 3-century reign.
Time to take
battle stations, everyone.
Time to take down one of the lords.
I still can't believe this is happening. We're really about to face off against a Renan Lord.
Well, you're in pretty high spirits for a guy going into a life-and-death battle.
I'm not saying I'm not worried. But you have to remember, this is the first time any of us Danans have really had any hope. What about you? You scared at all?
I don't have time to be scared. This is only the first step in a long, long plan of mine.
You want to take down all 5 lords, right? It's hard to believe it'll ever happen.
But it will.
I know. I haven't forgotten our deal.
See that you don't. That said, if we lose, we might suffer a fate worse than death, you know.
That's probably true. But instead of worrying about it, wouldn't it be a better use of our time to figure out ways to avoid that and not lose?
I suppose.
Whatever happens, I'll put everything I have into winning. You can count on that.
Okay, now we get to use the elevator.
Just above us.
All right. And let's use that elevator thing. Zephyr and the Crimson Crows are supposed to be distracting the Renans from the front.
Then let's go around and sneak in elsewhere.
That's Zephyr from the Crimson Crows! Still up!
I hope he's gonna be okay.
Is now really the time to be worrying about him? We've still got a job to do.
Here we go. This is where it really gets good.
Gates of fire sure look intimidating once you see them up close. We can't say this place is truly liberated until we do something about them.
What are you muttering about? Stay focused. We still have to take down Balsef. We should be getting close to the service entrance.
Good. Let's get in there and kick their asses.
Okay, I go down here.
Is this someone's idea of a bridge?
Looks like it. Tell Fowler this will be a
I'm just a little uncomfortable being over a rickety pipe over a boiling lick of lava. Because I am an ice demon, and let's just say when it comes to areas like this, we don't exactly mix well with when it comes to heavily fire areas like this.
It's already started. We need to hurry.
Hold on. You should take the blazing sword.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We don't know what might happen up ahead. It's better to have it and be ready than to be caught in a fight without it.
Flames.
I took the liberty of cutting the flow of energy from the Master Core. I may be giving you the sword, but you still need me to unleash its power. Try not to forget that.
All right. Blazing sword. Okay. Yeah, uses HP, which I'm not too keen on with abilities that do that, where they they consume HP, because HP is the lifeline, and if it goes to 0, it's not very good. But I can get one of these, so makes perfect evading and perfect guarding easier to execute. I think I'm gonna go with this, since it will make easier evading in a lot better. So I'm gonna go with that. Okay, let's see what can we get for her. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one for her. Mia, welcome on in. My day's going well. Let me give you a shout out, Mia. My day's been going pretty well. Yesterday went well because I finally got my stitches out. Okay. Let's see what you were playing, Mia. Let's Stardew Valley. No, it wasn't. It wasn't anything major. I just had a little thing on my lip that was that I had to get removed, and the dermatologist put a couple of stitches in my lip, and I can tell you it was irritating having them in. But it's nothing major. I'm fine. It's just that when I had the stitches in, it was really irritating because of the place on my lip they were in.
Where the hell is Balsef? If we don't hurry up and find him...
You're too close. Try to stay farther apart.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Was I really that close?
I guess I'm just not used to standing right next to people.
You mean because of your thorns? You're a surprisingly nice person.
What?
You don't think so? I mean, you just made sure your thorns wouldn't...
You can keep your opinions to yourself. You don't know the first thing about me.
I'm not saying I know everything about you. Sheesh. No need to bite my head off.
You just can't take a hint, can you?
What?
Yup.
I'm sorry. You're right. I don't know what sorts of hardships you've been through. After all, what could I possibly know about pain?
I know you didn't mean anything bad by what you said. The throne room is up on the next floor. That's probably where we'll find Balsef.
Yeah, I'm glad I got the. I'm glad I got the stitches out, because I can tell you that it was not fun having them in. I had because I was constantly taking ibuprofen because of how irritating the stitches were. And once I got them out, it felt so much better.
Just a minute.
Flaming Edge Part 1. Iron Mask can sacrifice HP to use Flaming Edge. A strong, wide-reaching sword blaze attack. Do so hold the triangle, which will trigger the Flaming Edge after there's a corresponding art. Flaming Edge moves. It costs no AG to use. Flaming Edge moves. It has an added bonus, dealing downed enemy. Plus, after learning certain skill, you can continue to hold the button longer. I feel like a foreign object in the body, so understand the discomfort. It's been busy at home. It's been busy because Monday I went to see Avatar: The Way of Water. Then Tuesday went to get a haircut, and of course Thursday went to get the stitches out. And it's been busy because we've been having I had to do a lot of appointments this week, so it's been a busy week.
What are you? Time to see what this blazing sword can truly do. Rising Wyvern!
I'm only getting started.
Eat you! Damn it! Rising Wyvern!
One more. Mega Ray.
This one's all mine.
Gemini Aqua.
Eat you! Damn it!
True.
There.
It's on!
Mega Ray.
You picked the wrong fight! Damn it!
By the power of water. Where are you going?
Apparently, Infernal Torrents.
Eat
Okay, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't understand.
It's on! Burn in hell! Rising Wyvern! Stardust!
I'm only getting started.
To trigger it, press and hold the assigned Swallow Blade. Note that the Flaming Edge attack deals more damage. Okay, I need to press Swallow Blade.
Here I go. I'm only getting started.
Okay, so that's how I do it. Yup, I always like getting a haircut.
Gemini Aqua.
There we go. Success. The boost strike's a one-hit kill. Attacks performed. Tandem. Strike on the enemy. Use one immediately. Boost strikes. So,
Damn it, Maiden! You picked the wrong fighter!
Do it!
It's on! Starter!
I'm only getting started.
You picked the wrong fighter! Damn it!
Do it!
Blade! Slash! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
ooh, I like that finishing move.
Amazing!
Hey!
Got it.
We won.
Hey,
What?
if there's something you want to say, just come out and say it.
Huh?
I hate when I feel like people are laughing at me on the inside. Especially someone like you where I can't read your expression.
What? Why would I laugh at you? What are you talking about?
My outfit. As soon as you saw me in those ruins, you wanted to say something, didn't you?
Oh, it's not that. It's just
Just what?
nothing.
You're a truly awful person. You know that?
An awful... Hey, you're the one jumping to conclusions about what I think. You're not one to talk.
Then prove me wrong and tell me what you were really thinking.
There wasn't anything mean about you, I promise.
I don't believe that for a second.
And it doesn't matter what the hell I tell you. You'll always doubt me.
Okay, so... Okay, when you cancel fire, block it... Wait... Okay, so that's what I have to do.
Wow.
Sure.
We can cross through now.
Okay, time to take down some knights.
Let's dispose of the trash.
I never mind! You're mine! You're finished!
By the power of water!
You picked the wrong fight!
I'm only getting started. By the power of water! Here, let me help. First aid!
Slash!
One more!
Rising Wyvern!
And that takes care of them.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
See if there's anything behind here. Yes, there is a blue crystal. I'll take that. Time to take these guys out.
You're mine! You're finished!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Apple gel, definitely taking that. Okay, so I guess I take the elevator. Oh, that's just a turnaround on. So I guess we go up.
Looks like there's still some soldiers inside the castle.
It's still less than it would usually be. The diversion must be working.
Everyone, stay safe.
Out of our way! Slot! Swallow blade! Mega ray!
No escape! Swallow blade!
Take slot! You're mine! Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Having second thoughts?
No, I was just thinking about the blazing sword. Whenever I hold it, I feel wrong somehow.
Is relying on a sword from a Renin Master Core that repulsive?
It's not about that. It's just... It's hard to explain. It's like the sword is almost too strong.
I don't know what's got you so worried, but in case you forgot, that sword is the only reason we have a fighting chance against a lord.
I know. You don't need to keep telling me.
Well, good. That said, the longer you use it, the more you get burned by it, too. We need to remember to patch you up quickly when that happens. A double-edged sword in every sense. Since you can't feel pain, you'll need to be careful, okay?
Are you actually worried about me?
Is that a problem? Look, I need you if I'm going to take out the lords, and I can't have you dying on me before that happens. That's my only concern.
Sure. I'm pretty sure she's not worried about that. She's also worried about his well-being. And to be honest, I can't wait to find out what Iron Max's past is, because from the way he's definitely a Renin. Because during the cutscene we saw his eyes glow, which means he has to be a Renin.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
Ooh, big crystal. Nice. Gotta get those crystals.
It's so hot. I can definitely believe they're harvesting fire astral energy out here. Get lost!
You got spirit!
It's over!
By the power
Swallow blade! Try this!
barely a blip on our radar.
I'm wondering, is there anything over here? Oh, this just took us up even further. Nice.
Are those armed soldiers ganging up on a kid?
They're attacking him. We have to save him.
That's just low for a knight to do.
You will kneel before our Lord.
We'll see about that.
Rising Wyvern. Not today. You're mine.
Do it! First aid! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Are you okay?
Just do it.
What are you even doing here?
Working, most likely. Danon's slaves that can't handle manual labor outdoors are put to work in the castles as servants. I'm surprised you didn't know.
The soldiers got really mad all of a sudden and everyone ran away. I was the only one that got caught.
And it's good that we found you, but it's still not safe here. You need to get out of here before any more soldiers find you. Understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for saving me. Oh, here! You can have this!
Don't touch me.
I'm sorry. I only wanted to...
It's not your fault, kid. Don't sweat it. Can I take it instead?
Sure! It's the key to the elevator here. Will it help you guys at all?
Oh yeah, it can help.
Thanks, kid. Now get going. And be careful on your way out. So, not too happy about a slave touching you, huh?
It's not that, it's just that nobody can touch her without getting electrocuted.
We should keep moving.
Got the key. No key, I can't unlock anything right now. Sniper blast, hold the button to throw a bomb. You'll fire special ammo at a bomb after releasing it, making it detonate more strongly. Special ammo. You can do it by reloading R1 when at 0 by pressing L2 and R1 at any time.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize.
This place looks damn near the same on the outside as it does on the inside. Nothing but fire and rocks. I figured a Renin castle would at least be a little more elegant. Instead, it seems this one was very dedicated to a theme.
Is that your idea of a joke? Don't lump the rest of us in with someone like Balsef.
Then why's his place look so grungy?
I guess you could say that's just the majority of what he's into. He likes fire and he likes rocks. He's an egotistical brute without a single shred of class. He even makes everyone call him by his stupid nickname, the Wild Beast. I feel sorry for everyone who's stuck having to work beneath him.
Huh. Interesting.
Why?
I used to think all Renins were like him. Terrible people obsessed with their own superiority, who are only out to make us miserable. But now, listening to you talk makes me realize that maybe there are some good ones too. Maybe there are a few of you that are different.
Listen, I don't know what kind of Renin you think I am, but I have no intention of getting friendly with you. We clear?
Crystal, believe me, I wasn't about to suggest we go hang out and have a drink after this, that's for sure.
Can't keep my cool when she's rude. I swear. Yeah, it does make it a little hard to, like, keep your composure around her. Around Shion. With the way she is.
What the hell is that thing?
A spirit vessel. It's what the Renins use to harvest astral energy from Danons.
So that's where it all ends up, huh? Damn them.
Guess I take these guys out before going after the knights.
Here I come! Swallow blade! Slash!
By the power of
Rising wyvern! Take this!
Mega Ray!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Scrap metal. Or did it say scrap meat?
Right, here goes! Swallow blade! Take this!
Reload!
Slash!
I'm all stocked up!
Swallow blade!
By the power of water! Huh. Sight primed and ready!
Go mine!
Rising wyvern! Here, let me help!
Swallow blade! Slash! Swallow blade! You're mine! You're finished!
Take it again! Mega Ray!
Nicely done.
What are those things I sometimes see you chuck out in the middle of fights?
What? You mean my bombs?
Bombs? As in the things people use to clear out rocks? But I could have sworn I saw something other than fire burst from some of yours.
That's because these aren't ordinary bombs. They're specially made ones filled with astral energy.
Okay. And why do you shoot the bombs after you release them?
It's a part of my strategy. The effects of my bombs change when I fire bullets of a different astral element at them.
Thank you
It
for the
makes it
hydrate,
difficult
Mia.
for enemies to predict what effect they'll have, or when they'll go off.
One moment you're using powerful bombs, the next you're using powerful healing arts. They're kinda on the opposite ends of the spectrum, aren't they?
Think of it this way. If you ever get caught up in the blast of one of my bombs and you manage not to die, I'll be able to heal you using
Hi, I'm
my
Peter
arts.
Griffin. You know, there's an issue facing many
I'll do my
Americans today
best
that
to
I know
not
concerns a
die
great
then.
number of us. According to Gallup polls, 1 in 12 Americans is unaware that the bird is the word. I, for one, dream of an America where everybody knows that the bird is the word.
Guess this thing needs a different key to activate.
The bird is the word.
My God, it's impossible. Have the boys in the lab confirm this.
Sir, our math shows that the bird is equal to or greater than the word.
Check it again!
Check it again.
I'm not done!
You're
Rising
mine!
wyvern! Swallow blade!
Searing flame! Reload!
Soda!
Watch and
No escape!
Looks like we won.
An opponent like this should be easy. You're mine!
I'm only getting started! Here, let me help!
Not today!
Damn it!
First angle!
Take this!
You're mine!
Swallow blade! Swallow blade! Slash! You're mine! Slash!
By the power of water!
Swallow blade!
Here's a healing art!
It's
First
over!
aid!
You're mine!
I need to be stronger.
Nice, leveled up. Oh, what do we got here? Castle elevator key, nice. And okay, that's a big one.
Enemy.
If we can, it might be best to avoid fighting this one, because that one's a pretty strong one. At least for now, until I have like more party members to fight.
Gotta break through. You're mine. Slash. Swallow blade. Next. You're mine.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Hello, treasure chest. Ooh, it's a red one. That's definitely means it's a lot better. Ooh, it had a gem in it. Garnet.
Hey, about that elevator.
Yeah, I bet that garish-looking key will come in handy for it.
We have reached the castle.
Now you'll learn. Take this. Swallow blade. You're mine. You picked the wrong fight. Swallow blade.
Onward and upward.
Yep. Top floor, please.
This area seems different.
We're getting close. Balsif should be right up ahead.
That's what I figured. Time to introduce ourselves.
Nice.
Finally, it's time to face Balsif.
Speaking of Balsif, how much would you say you actually know about him?
What do you mean? He's just a lord that holds power over Calaglia, isn't he?
Just a lord? He is far more than that. Balsif Erwolzi Teldilis is one of the 5 lords that sit atop all of Renan society. Even without his Fire Master Core, fighting him won't be easy. I've seen that man butcher who knows how many Zeugles, just to blow off some steam. With sheer brawn like his, he can knock you out with one hit, and it's practically suicide to go up against him when he has a weapon.
Got it. Watch out for his attacks.
That's only the beginning. You can't expect to beat him by attrition. First, we dodge, then look for an opening. Remember that.
Sounds like our teamwork is really going to be put to the test.
Indeed. Don't screw this up and get us both killed.
Yeah, it does sound like his name. Balsif's name does sound like that. I remember when I first heard it, I laughed as well. Pestisor, a battle with the Fire Lord awaits. Let's head on in.
Don't move, Balsif!
We said don't move.
So the vermin scum you call kin stirred up enough trouble. For you two rats to make it all the way to me, huh? What a pain in the ass. Although, it was pretty impressive of you to deliver it straight into my hands. The Master Core.
You really think we're here to hand it over?
Why, of course not. You see, I'll be taking it back no matter what you say. In any case, this is the end for you. You won't be getting out of here alive. The two of you were fools for coming here. Now die! A common thief believes she can usurp me? Don't make me laugh!
You can keep your accursed crown!
We're here to overthrow you and free the dead!
Spare me your weeping, slave!
Slut! Swallow blade!
This one's mine!
Left!
Magna Ray! By the power of water!
Slice! It's over!
There! You're bruised all over. But he's wide open when he's in the air. I'll shoot him out of the sky.
Make sure you don't miss!
Gemini Aqua! Here's a healing arc!
Swallow blade!
First aid!
Left!
Searing flame! Reload!
Slice! Swallow blade!
Magna Ray!
Mirage!
By the power of water! Here I go! You're
This guy's tough.
Gemini Aqua!
Out of my way!
Here's a healing arc!
I owe you one!
Ugh. Yeah, he can do a lot of damage. This is gonna be tough.
Out of my way!
Water! Let the marksman handle
You'll
this!
see us now!
Think again!
We did it!
Just give it up, Balsep!
Swallow blade!
There! One more! Magna Ray! I never miss!
Swallow blade! Slice! Swallow blade!
You're my searing flame!
Take this!
You wretches won't beat me!
I'm out
It's
of
over.
ammo! I'm all stocked up!
Stop trying to resist!
By the power of water!
There!
Gemini Aqua! By the power of water!
You picked the wrong fight! Swallow
Magna Ray!
blade! Slice!
By the power of water!
Damn
Here's a healing
slave!
arc! First aid! I'll bring you back from death to bit!
Not done
A
yet!
new lease on...
Okay, I can't use it just yet.
Take this!
Here's a healing
You're
arc!
finished!
First aid! Searing flame! This one's mine! I never miss!
Damn
Hit
slave!
it again! Magna
Swallow
Ray!
blade!
By the power of water! Here I go! I'm only getting searing flame! Reload! I'm now
This should
back
do
into
it.
the fray! Gemini Aqua! By the power
Swallow
of water!
shield! It's you and me!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That it? Did we win? Or is that just the first phase? Yeah, I think it's just the first phase.
Alphen. 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 Iron Mask! Balsep's escaping. Come on.
He's not getting away. Oh, I see. You're running away, eh? You yellow bastard, come back here and get what's coming to you. We'll chop your legs off. Thank you for the stretch and the hydrate.
Running from a slave, Bolsif?
Know your place, insolent boy. Up here, I've got more than enough space to crush you. This time your mask won't be the only thing that cracks.
That is enough!
Oh crap.
What the hell is that?
It's manifested astral energy. And not only that, it's alive!
Astral energy? From the spirit vessel? But wait, that was harvested for me! And that energy is supposed to be mine! It was the two of you! I knew it all along! And you'll pay! Meddling slave! Look what you did!
Okay, I think we need to take him out first.
You're nothing!
Shield, watch out! Try harder!
Yeah, definitely best to take out Balzef first, and then go after the giant.
Don't let it trap you in its flames! Watch and weep!
Stop trying to resist!
Here, let me help! First aid!
You're mine! Swallow blade!
By the power of water! That monster's attacking! Look out! By the power of this one's mine! I never miss!
No! Can't end here!
Magna Ray!
Stop
By
trying
the
to
power
resist!
of water! Here's a healing art! First aid! Searing flame! Reload! Here I go!
Yeah, I'm not just laying here on the grid.
I'm out of ammo.
Ah, crap.
The crown contest is as good as mine!
Okay, let's try that again.
Meddling slave! Look what you did!
Without your spirit vessel or your master core, you're nothing!
Shield, watch out!
Searing flame! Reload! Searing flame! Reload!
It's huge!
Don't let it trap you in its flames!
This should do it!
I'm all stopped up!
You're mine! It's over! Swallow blade!
Sighted! It's over!
This should do it!
That monster's attacking! Look out! There! And again! Let the marksman handle this! Searing flame! Reload!
Stop trying to resist!
This one's all mine!
Magna Ray! Gemini Aqua! I never miss! Searing flame!
Not today!
Reload!
Take
I'm
this!
out! Watch and
It's
see.
over! Swallow blade!
By the power of water! Searing flame! Reload!
Swallow blade!
Magna Ray! Watch and weep! Magna Ray! By the power of
You're
water!
on! That fire monster's getting ready to attack!
Reload!
Out of my
Here I
way!
go! It's over! Searing flame! Reload!
Stop trying to resist!
I'm out! I'm all stopped up! By the power- that fire monster's causing us a lot of trouble!
Let me take a crack at it!
Stupid, you're finished!
You may be strong,
Ready?
but I'll never... Here it comes! Down you go!
You really don't... mess around!
There! Thanks! Now, while he's down! Eat dirt!
trouble now.
Reload!
Slash!
Spirit
Now what?
Watch out! We need to stop him! Seven Eye Aqua!
Strike! Swallow blade!
Mega Ray!
You're finished!
By the power of water!
Here I come! Slash! Swallow blade! You're mine!
Seven Eye Aqua!
You're finished!
By the power of...
You're finished! Jill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
But why? Do you not possess the blood of a Renin? Why then would you turn against your own kind? It's always been the way of the Renin for the strongest to survive! And yet, you have allied yourself with a filthy Danon! You traitor! Tell me why? Why bring ruin and devastation to your own kind? Snakes like you should die!
Bye bye, Balzef.
Made up of astral energy? How do we even...
If this sword is made of astral energy as well, maybe... Right. We did it. We brought down the wall.
Iron Mask, your face is exposed.
No.
Huh?
I remember it now. My name. My name is... Alvin! I want to be your hair right now. You are the place, my only home.
Gotta love the opening.
Flames. I see. Flames. My name is Alphen. Where am I? What happened? The rage surging within me, fueling the sword. Where did it come from? This twisting fear that clings to me, holding me in check. The melancholic voice calling out to me. Who am I? Who was I? This is...
Wakey, wakey, sunshine. About time, too.
A week? You mean that whole time I was...
Out cold? Yeah. Just as well, too. When you blacked out, you were on your way to becoming a pile of ash. Shion's the reason you're still here.
Shion? You healed me?
In case you'd forgotten, we've still got 4 lords to defeat. You dying would have only slowed things down.
What about Balsef's troops?
We've got them on the ropes. While you've been getting your beauty sleep, most of the remaining Renans have either surrendered or fled. You slaying Balsef was the catalyst we'd been waiting for. Thanks to you, Calaglia is finally free. You have my gratitude. We couldn't have done it without you.
I just did what anyone would have done.
Iron Man... Forgive me. Alphen. It's good to finally see who I'm speaking to. Half of him, anyway. So, feel like telling us who you used to be?
I wish I could.
Guess that part's still hazy for him.
Brief, eh? I see. But still, no sense in beating yourself up. You've remembered your name. The rest will come in time.
So, what happens now?
No, just everything. The realm may be liberated, but we're still destitute. You name it, anything and everything starts from scratch. But enough of that. You've just woken up. You should get a sense of the scale of what you've accomplished. Head over to the Gates of Fire and take a look at the view. It's a sight too many Danans died only ever seeing in their dreams.
The Gates of Fire.
I'll be your chaperone. Last thing we need is you tripping on a pebble and missing another week.
Remind me to laugh next time.
Nice, we unlocked more skills. And with that, I am gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to end stream right here for the day because it is that time. Actually, way over the time, but I was having so much fun, I forgot what the time was. So I'm gonna take us on over to chat, and we are gonna look for somebody for us to raid, and to stick around because you will be getting extra channel points from the raid. Okay. Okay, let's see who is on. Let's see what Kazuma's up to.
Perfect.
Kazuma is currently playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I think what we'll do, we're gonna raid Kazuma. So while I get the raid started, let me give you guys your raid messages to, if you, so you can, yeah. So you guys can have a chance to copy those. This one is for subs, and this one is for non-subs. I'll give you guys a chance to copy those. And also, if you want to join, I do have a Discord. So if you guys want to join that, you can, because I do announce any changes and when I go live in the Discord. So I'll give you, so if you want, you can, the link is right there. Okay, before I start the raid, I want to thank everybody who came to the stream today. I am going to be back tomorrow, and I'm going to decide if I'm going to play more Tales of Arise or if I'm going to play Cyberpunk, because it's been a while since I played Cyberpunk. I didn't play last week because I was finishing up Scarlet Nexus. So I'm going to see, but I'm really want to do more of Tales of Arise because I enjoyed doing that boss fight. It's a lot of fun. But I'm gonna decide on which one. Though maybe what I'll do is I'll do a little bit of Cyberpunk, then do more Tales of Arise. But let me go ahead and get that raid started for you guys. Get the raid getting started. Thank you for everybody who came to the stream today. I hope you all enjoy. I know I certainly did, and I am going to be back tomorrow for Christmas Eve. I don't have anything special planned, just to play some more games. I don't know if I'm going to be doing Kitchen Sunday because it is Christmas, and depending on what I get, I might just take the day to chill. And if I don't stream on Christmas, I will be streaming on I'll most likely stream on Monday if nothing comes up. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight, evening, morning, afternoon, what it is in your time zone. Everybody, thank you for coming to the stream, and I will see everybody later.